I have some questions, Chris,
Okay.
because I am fascinated, first and foremost.
Lucas is his name?
Lucas, who is a Whaboom?
Yeah, so I didn't know we labeled him as a Whaboom.
Okay.
But it's one of those words that can be like, it's an essence, it's a lifestyle, it's an occupation, but it's also like a verb. You can Whaboom and you can be Whaboomed.
Is it World of Warcraft?
I don't know what that means.
Okay, I was looking it up on the internet trying to figure out what Whaboom is. Can you school me, please?
I
Teach
wish.
me.
So it's a thing, like you'll see, and he'll yell it, and he is like, it's kind of his essence. It's who he is.
Okay.
And he's one of those guys. I've tried to explain, like, you either want to like murder him, or you really like him. Like, I don't know if I want to choke him. Like, stop. Like, enough's enough. Let it go. I need you to bring it down. Like, you're at a 12. I need you to bring it down to like a 4. So
is he the male Corinne this season?
No, because Corinne was like very subtle, I thought, in her Corinne-ness. Whaboom's much more, as you would think, in your face.
Okay, okay. Well, the Urban Dictionary said that it's a term that you should not use lightly.
Oh, wow.
Be very careful with this word. And now we're just throwing it out. Now it's definitely going to be a thing after this show, I'm sure. But how do these titles come about? Because I've always been so fascinated, I think over time we've seen like chicken enthusiast and all of these great terms.
Well, and there's like Jonathan, who's the tickle monster.
Right.
And he's actually a doctor.
Okay.
But it's how you get to know. I think what we did early on is we weren't very creative. We were just like, you're a manager of this, or you're a doctor, or whatever.
Right.
And then we thought, that's not really how you know these guys.
Right.
Like, that's not how you know Corinne.
Right.
That's not how you know, you're not going to know Lucas because of what he does. You're going to know Lucas because he's Whaboom.
Right.
And same thing with Jonathan. He's an accomplished doctor, which should be enough. But you're going to remember him as the tickle monster.
Right.
And then there's like Big Hands. And then you're going to remember Adam for a reason, for someone he brings on the show. And so I think what we realized, let's have a little more fun with the labeling, because that's who you're going to remember these guys as.
I'm so happy for Rachel's sake to hear that it's not a World of Warcraft reference, because I was really concerned for her. We've also seen in the promo that there's a lot of tears this season. How manly are these dudes? Are there some manly dudes? Or are we like, it's like full Jason Mesnicking all the time, just...
It's Mesnickian. It's not Mesnick, but it's Mesnickian. It's like on the sliding scale of 0 to Mesnick, it's like a 6 or 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're not going to get a full crazy Mesnick.
Right.
But you're going to get some serious man cry. And it's funny who you get it from. Like, there's Kenny, who's a wrestler. And like a badass dude will like, rip your head off. But then he has a daughter, and so he's a ball bag. So it's really funny. He starts crying, and so you never know who it's going to be. But there's a lot of, look, you have all these type A personalities. These are older guys, more professional because of who Rachel is. So there's a lot. These guys are used to being successful and good at what they do, and they're not used to having people challenge them and really get in their face. And so obviously that leads to some conflict.
Is there a villain this season?
I mean, Lucas might be one. Might be that guy you love to hate. Lee is another guy who's this very southern gentleman, sweet, is apple pie, nice as can be, but the way he talks and the way he says things kind of rubs people the wrong way. There's a couple of guys that kind of go after each other so much that like they kind of forget they're even on the show, and even when they're asked to leave, which they are on the same night, they're still going after each other. In their exit interviews, they walk over. One leaves one set, walks over to his set, and just starts cussing them out and going, I'm like, you guys are done. Like, let it go. And they're like, F you, and you ruined my life. And it was like, so these guys
I'm envisioning security again and after the final rose.
Yeah, Big Pauly. Yeah, Big Pauly is there like, dude, you got to go. It's late. We want to go home.